lodge right now. We're going to take and stream over here and point to the storms that we're going to be on. They're going to be off to our northwest, coming in from Medicine Lodge area. They're going through a storm merger right now. And so Hazleton, Kansas, Kiowa, Kansas, just north of Hartner, in between that area is where these storms are. So let me get the camera pointed over that direction here real quick. And aim down, aim down, aim down. So there's a little bit of rain right there. But there is a lot falling over here. We may have to flip our camera completely around. I don't know if it's got the range on it to make it that far. But there's the sun coming in. And there is the big old huge rain shaft. And the storms that are coming in. So it has merged. Let me go down a little bit. Merged with another storm out in front of it. And so it is declining in intensity right now, but I would expect that with the approaching cold front and the fact that we've got dew points in the upper 50s, don't think that they've quite reached the 60s yet over in this area. But also over to the left, if you look up, now you start to see some more crisp convection going up. You can see the cauliflower looking storms there. So things are really starting to intensify. And so we're going to go over to about probably Hartner. We're not too far from there right now. And let this thing pass us. See what we can see on the back side of it anyways. Right now it's moving to the southeast. Has not gone severe yet, but there is expectation for these to turn into supercells for a period of time before lining out, making clusters instead. So that just might get your cootie there. Well, that thing's going to come in on top of us pretty quick. The radar shows that it's a little bit closer than what I think. So one thing that concerns me is that we have not seen any lightning bolts on it yet. Maybe intracloud, but we've not seen any CG bolts. And I would expect that once it gets down into Oklahoma, where the dew points are better and the moisture's better, that we would probably... There's lightning right there. So we're positive now for storm re-intensifying. Doing well. So if there are anyone that are using the chat board right now, I have the camera set up on the rooftop camera. I don't have that activated, and so I won't be able to respond to you. However, whenever we go to our regular front-facing camera then perhaps I can take and turn the chat on for just a little bit, maybe interact with you guys some. But right now we're looking at trying to position. So this, before it merged, did have a pretty decent little Hellcore in it there for a while. Never went severe, but again, like I said, it's had some influence from that other storm coming in from the south, and so now that it's one big cell, we will see what it looks like. But you guys are getting a look at it just like we are. It's a good thing for the roof cam. Paying attention on these dirt roads as well. Obviously there's farm animals and stuff like that that are out here, and so we want to always be aware. We've seen several white-tailed deer on our way over to the storm, pheasants, some quail, and so there's some lightning with it. We're doing good as far as our location goes. We've driven through one area that has had a little bit of rain, enough to cause the creek to rise, so it must have poured down pretty hard. And same thing with this has got a lot of rain on it. Started out just as a real short, narrow shaft of rain, and now it has grown exponentially large. More lightning. Little railroad car. I don't think our beacon has updated quite like it should have. I think we're a little bit further to the west than what it's showing right now. There it goes. There it goes. It was putting us way back on the leading edge of that. And I knew better than that. So it was about right on schedule, because we've probably been on the road for about 17 minutes at least. So 8 o'clock was the magic number.
How far north is this? How far north is it?
It goes clear up to Sharon and Attica. Well, I mean, it would be parallel with Attica, so, but it's a pretty good stretch. So I said, it's supposed to intensify once it gets across the Oklahoma border into that better moisture. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here. We're going to find us a place to pull over and just face off to the northwest. Need to get us I think we just took us a bird out. Find us a good, Highway 8 is coming up, so we will be fine. Get us a pavement road, and that way when it's time to leave, we can drive straight south on it. Railroad tracks. That rain kicking up some dirt over there.
Lightning up in there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like I said, we'll use the front-facing camera here in a little bit, and it'll help us out some. Low water crossing there. I think what we'll do is we'll shoot across and go over and get on that side of the road. Find us a pull off. Imagine that there's probably one up here by this windmill. An old abandoned feedlot. This will work right here. We can get out and stretch our legs a little bit.
Wow.
What we got?
Just how far that goes.
Oh, yeah. So, let me take and that's going to be go to my radar here real fast. Okay. What we want that right there. I'm gonna pull out my camera and try to get some lightning shots. Whoa! No, it's going. Yeah, it's still going. No. Take my medicine real quick. About that time. Oh yeah. She's talking. That's good. That's what we want. So it will probably intensify once it gets dark. have to hold up on the. But I almost hate to. Because that is. Throwing out some pretty decent bolts. Swap the lens out though. This end, yeah, that we're on. So, but it'll wherever the more lightning is really where the stronger part of the core is. Was it all over the sky there? Yeah. Dude, she's getting with it. That's what we like. I should have had this done a long time ago, but I didn't. And now I'm sitting here messing around. Oh yeah, we're all right with the rain. I'm not worried about that. As long as she keeps talking like that, that's good. Woo-wee. That was a good one. I seen that one from a long ways away. All right. Is it? Yeah. Come on now, don't start raining. Be right back out of it again. That's right. We ain't gonna go too crazy with her. All right. Get back over here. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take that off of there because it's gonna block the folks' view, and Come on now. Headed south, headed south. Boy, it is raining like cats and dogs over there to the east of us. That'd have been a good one. I've seen that out in front of us. We'll get about a mile away from it and then get out again. She's curling around. Looks like there might be a road right up here. That sandburs out there? Probably so. Kind of looks like it. That's a culvert. We don't want to pull off on that. That'd be a bad deal. That's Lease Road, maybe. There is a perfect spot. Where was that lightning happen at that time? Still out in front of us?
Yeah, you're
Right
kinda
up above us?
Yep.
Okay. Whoa!
Where was that? Right
That
above
was
us?
over to the right. That was over that area. I guess we should have went the other mile. big. That's what it's doing. It's back building. It's got more back on the back side of it now. So, Caperon is what?
Is that Burlington?
It should be, yeah. Woo! That was nice. We got that one on video. CG bolt. That's good. That means that she's starting to strengthen a little bit. That's what we want. But we're going to have to drop way south to get out of this rain. Another one. I thought for sure we was going to be far enough away. Yeah, Burlington is due south of us. We got some folks down there in Cherokee, so we might have to drop all the way down to that distance in order to take and get any of that lightning. That's a pretty shot back there, though.
Yeah, it must be.
Point back over here so that the folks can at least see what we're looking at. Hauling mail. As soon as you're out of it, you're out of it. She's just now getting going. Like I said, it's gonna just barely miss Waukeeta to the west. It's got a little stronger core on the back side of it now. So we want to go to Burlington. and then south to Cherokee. Or, I don't know if this road takes us straight south or not. I don't know why it wouldn't. Hopefully this don't say dead end. Looks like it's facing the wrong way. Even if I don't get a lightning picture, I definitely like to get a picture of that sunset, yeah. Go back over here to the front scene. There's old Jack. That ain't moving one bit. He's like, this is my road, dude. Yep. Get us a little golden wheat field. Whoa! There's another rabbit. That one's about a pancake rabbit. Right up here. That ain't it. And that sun's about down. However, the one over on the left side looks pretty decent too. Feedlot. Yeah, my beacon is definitely not updated. Because I know for a fact I ain't in the rain. I think we should take and aim right back this direction. Pink rain. That's pretty neat. I'm gonna put my flashers on just so splitting up into sections is what it's doing. Yeah, seatbelt on here real quick. Yeah, I know, I hear you. Woo. Raining hard now. That's deep sand. Alright, we are repositioning again because the storm has moved off kind of to the east instead of south like it was intended to do. And so let's see. Waukita is, it's going to be like right on the knife's edge. This one doesn't give a very good radar representation for some reason. I don't know why. The reflectivity is always really meager. Yeah, that thing is hauling the mail. You get those long lines like that are on the front of it, the storm tracks. It's probably moving 35 or 40 miles an hour. So, but that's okay because we can get up here on what is it, Highway 11 that runs, or 60 that runs east and west to Alva. 11. So yeah, well, she'll be all right. This looks like that it's probably going to be paved, or better than paved. Should run right back up into Highway 8 here in just a few minutes. Jacks, better watch out. Yeah, that's definitely the stronger part of the storm now. It's like it just ran off and left us. Do what?
Change quick.
Yep. I did not figure it to be moving that fast. Second. Ingersoll coming up. Storm chasers up here as well. It looks like there's a bunch of them piled up down there.
What now? We're
Ingersoll.
Ingersoll. Oh. They're at a by my house, it's pouring down rain where that Jacob Bowman lived. They're out of power. And
are they really?
yeah.
Wow.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. That's it. It's moving fast. It's moving fast. Yeah, he was thinking it looked like it might just stay south of, I mean, west of Waukeeta, but see it keep moving that way fast. Yeah, we're in Ingersoll, we're on the back side of it now. We're behind it. So it's not raining in town yet, though. Right. Yeah. The deal was up there, north, and then it kind of switched quick. Okay, I'm gonna see what that is.
That lightning is definitely more intense over there.
They said the wind's coming out of the northwest now.
Yeah, they should, because that's the way that storm's moving. So it's going to be sucking everything that way.
Yeah, it just started sprinkling in Waukeeta, but west of my house a mile.
Yeah.
That's where Jacob lives, and that's where they're out of electricity. And
I see. Yeah, so I was right. I knew that 58 went into Cherokee.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. So, well, I can just drop you back off there at the house. Is that all right?
That's fine, yeah.
Okay.
You're going to go on...
And then I'm going to head on south and west, or
Right.
east, I mean. So,
Yeah, no,
I
that's
probably won't be able to catch back up to it because it is moving so fast. So, I'm not really worried about it. If I get some lightning shots, I do. But if I don't, I don't. That just puts me home that much earlier.
fine. There you go.
Yeah, these guys are probably all chasing. I've seen a couple of dots anyways. Got a little bit of dirt. Now that wind's stout. It ain't playing. That's the next thing I want to try and add is an actual meter so that I can measure the winds and stuff. Yeah, it basically olayed Waukita barely. So your place and
Probably got a good rain.
yep. Yeah, she's coming down hard.
Meg's still there, isn't he? I'll just have him drop me off there instead of at my house, and he's going to go on southeast. Yeah, we're like, curves through the east of Cherokee, and I mean, this guy is pouring, wind blowing. Yeah. See, that's what he thought he was right going to miss Waukita from stay southwest, but
There might be just a touch of hell in that.
there is.
Yep, sounds like it. It ain't very big, but
He said it almost looks like it's going to miss Waukita. It still hasn't rained there.
yeah, I mean, it literally just barely missed it, by not much.
That's what he said. It does kind of look like it could miss Waukita just barely, but right. Yeah, that's we're kind of right coming into it. Crazy. So yeah, I'll be back in there here before long. All right, bye. It'd be quicker just take me to town.
Okay.
I can go grab my wife home, ride with her or something. driver, really.
All right. Yeah, that wind's not terrible, but it's enough to move the car around a little bit.
What's crazy?
30, 35 miles an hour. Yeah. I mean, so that storm is already, the core of it is already at Nescatunga. So it is moving. I got another one over by Caldwell as well. So, but it looks like it's doing about the same thing. Mouse locked onto my tablet and I can't get it out of there now. Now that rains. Wow! Wowee! Yep, I've seen that one for sure.
Got my shop out here in the Sand Hills for sure.
Huh?
It'll have got where my shop is, where I was raised out here.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's kind of your shop and your deer camp, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Where my snooker table is and everything.
Yep. Yep. Check out the live stream real quick and see what it looks like. But I don't know what I can. There we go. Looks like it's doing alright. Hey Cody. So we're headed back to Waukeeta. I've got a friend of mine that's with me, and so we're gonna drop him off at his house, and then we're gonna get back on the storm. I'm gonna head south, but this thing it's hauling the mail. I'm not gonna be able to even take and probably keep up with it. So had some amazing lightning shots just a little while ago. And there's another one. Don't know if you guys were able to see those or not, but well, there, getting a good soaking though here. Hello, Arkansas. So, obviously, safety is paramount, and so I'm trying to take and look at y'all's posts and stuff like that, but obviously I need to pay attention to the roadway as well. So I will talk to you while I'm driving, but not necessarily going to be able to respond to personal or individual questions or anything like that right now. But as you can tell, we're driving through heavy rain and frequent lightning. Storms are actually supposed to take and re-intensify to our south, but it looks like for right now that's not happening. So it is closer to the radar site, so that might be part of the issue. Let me swap down to probably Oklahoma City. That might change the outlook on things a little bit, because it was going right over the radar site just a second ago. I don't know if Wichita might, yeah, Wichita's probably closer than that. So yeah, I mean, core is basically not all that big. Got another core coming up by Caldwell. Man, did you see that finger come off of that in front of us? So yeah, and that one is headed down toward Blackwell, and it is the same way. It is not wasting any time about getting there. So now we have a special weather statement on this one right here, so it may go severe, and that would be between Medford and Pond Creek, Nescatunga area, Cherokee, along the Great Salt Plains there. Radiation fog from the 90-degree temperatures and bouncing off the roadways. It's literally just west of it, and it's getting a hail core, a big hail core, just west of Medford and Jefferson. So it's not too far off to the east of us. But it won't be long.
Shop will be 2 miles south of here. It's a crooked line.
Okay.
Turns out.
Yeah. I think I've been out there one time, a long time ago, whenever I first got my crossbow.
Yeah.
And went out there and I sat in that tree that you had there by that pond.
Yep.
So this is 132, right? Up here it takes
Yeah.
you to Sand Creek. Is
Yeah,
that?
I mean, if you want to go on the 5 Mile Corner.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 132 right up here.
So only thing that the satellite doesn't like is rain.
What?
Heavy rain like
Oh.
that. So whenever you take it and you get into those big, huge, hard downpours, now I mean it can handle this stuff like nothing, but back there, it'll buffer a little bit, but it still stays connected. That's the good thing. So, and I can probably strengthen that connection a little bit more if I take and plug my phone back in. Because right now I'm strictly running off the satellite. And I need to be running off both of them to keep a good strong signal. I don't know how well Verizon does up here, but
Probably not. Well, no, that's what we're on. After they blocked Pioneer.
yeah.
Yeah, this is Sand Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll never catch it unless that one coming from up there.
Yeah. The good thing is the hail core kind of dropped down on that one because it's basically going right over Jefferson right now. So. Got some pretty serious lightning on it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Selden, which is the one that just went just to the west of Waukeeta. It's a pretty strong storm. Frog. Yep, Pond Creek's in for it now. So, if I take Red Hill Road, I might be able to get up behind it again.
above my corner and you wouldn't have to.
No, it's all right. You know.
You got center, you some lightning fixtures.
Yeah.
You got some over there, no doubt, but
Yeah.
that sunset picture's got to be good.
Yeah, I'll send that one to you as well. Let's see, this is it.
Yep.
Wow, man, that lightning crazy. I don't know how well that I'll be able to take and do that, but I'm gonna. It's so dark; it'll be hard for me to see that camera back behind me. But boy, that would be a good. All right, so that was pretty close to it right there,
It
wasn't
had
it?
to be.
I'm gonna try and point the camera off to the southeast for you guys. Hopefully we can catch some lightning for you as we're driving into Waukeeta, dropping my friend off, and then we're gonna try and get right back up behind the storm on our way home. So. Raining pretty hard here. Hopefully we'll get some good strikes so that we can get it dialed in on the camera. There was one. Hard to see it through that dome with all this rain coming down though. Boy, it's coming down hard again.
About done here.
Uh-huh.
I figured you'd be about done here.
Well, no, I guess not. I was thinking maybe there was some more stuff back in there. And it might be. It may develop back to the northwest again. I don't think that cold front's completely pushed through yet. I'll switch it back over to the road camera here, the front camera. I bet y'all aren't just looking at a black screen. Well, lots of frogs. Lots of flat frogs now.
Peach big.
Snake. Drying out. Pavement's getting dry. How in the world does that work?
saw it.
Dry as a bone. Yeah. Wow. That is crazy. They still have police here?
No.
I didn't think so. After Dean left, that was pretty much over with.
Yeah, we had one after that, but
Yeah. Big old white dog.
dry streets, it's nuts.
Right? Dry pavement. Well, for those that have never been to Waukeeta, Oklahoma, you can say that you have been now. The Twister Museum is just to our east. And so that event will be coming up here before you know it. That stained glass is pretty.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Thanks.
mister.
Appreciate it.
You take care.
Till next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I gotta give him a book deal out of back.
Yeah, no problem. Yes, indeed. A very small town.
Okay, take care. Stay in touch.
Yes, sir.
See ya.
See ya. All right. So we're going to take off. We're going to try and go down there and catch these storms, guys. I don't know that we're going to be able to do it because of the fact that they are moving on. And so I will try to do my best. Some amazing lightning flying out of them a while ago. And I was trying to take and get that turned over to the back camera or the roof camera so that we could take and have a good shot of that. But that wasn't the case because of all the heavy rain. And it wasn't possible to see any of it. So we were going to take and head back out. This time hopefully tie right back into this thing and at least get some decent lightning shots. Still got a little bit of rain coming down. Looked like, oh, that was a good one. Storm intensity might be trying to drop down on it a little bit, so we might be chasing that dead dog. So while I have everybody on here and you are watching, I would like to thank all of the new subscribers to the channel. I believe that we have succeeded in reaching over 200 followers, subscribers, and we're now on the track to hit 500. So if you haven't done so, and I'm going to go ahead and load everything back up real quick before I bring the radar back up, but I'm going to bring the chat up. I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to bring that up. And so, I don't know that I'm going to bring the chat, restream chat back up. That's coming from everybody. So I've got Twitch and YouTube going at the same time. And so, but I wanted to thank everybody for subscribing both to the Twitch channel and to the YouTube channel. You can follow me on either platform, but I truly appreciate it. You guys are a great help, especially whenever we're on these storms. There wasn't anything really great about today. I mean, there's great lightning, don't get me wrong. I enjoy going out on every chase, and I don't want to ramble on, but anyway, you guys are what makes it possible, and so I just wanted to show my gratitude for everybody that has signed up. So with that being said, for the ones that are on the channel and have not subscribed to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell so that next time when we do go live, you guys will know all about it. Man, that lightning is great. So I'm gonna take the restream chat off because it's blocking out the lightning. And dude, I don't have my lights on bright, so thanks for blinding me. But anyway, so yeah, and we're gonna go over. We're gonna hit what they call Red Hill Road, and we are going to drop in behind this, and hopefully we can pull over and get some of that crazy lightning as it happens. The rain, get out of the rain and get some good shots. Man, I just ran over a snake. All kinds of critters out on the road right now. Frogs, snakes, seen some dogs. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. We probably drove through 35 or 40 mile per hour winds while ago on our way back. And so it was pretty strong. And that wind was blowing hard, and the rain was coming down, so yeah. We got to drop east just a little bit, and then we'll tie into Red Hill Road, and then we'll be facing right back to where the lightning is. So give me just a second, guys. bring up the radar again. So it looks like that there's a strengthening cell that is near between Nash and Pond Creek, and is going to be moving along, basically along Highway 81, and so we should be able to intercept that with no problem if I can get my turn right here. And it's throwing out some lightning bolts, I'll just tell you that. So Red Hill Road should be coming up next. One thing I can say is that there has been a ton of rain falling up here, and they've needed it. Let's see, on Red Hill Road exit. In a quarter of a mile. We're getting into the heavy rain, so bear with me. Hopefully the satellite will hold out. And here we go. So the lightning should be off to our south. Little sail right there, dropping some heavy rain. Getting some good lightning on camera tonight, as far as on the live stream, that is. A little ponding of water on the roadways right now. This has still got a special weather statement on it. At least the storm off to the east of it does. Golly, that lightning is awesome. Come on now. Good lightning running across the sky. Crawler lightning. My car doesn't like that it can't see any lines on the roadway. Woo! Look at that! What in the world? So, if y'all have tuned into the channel on my YouTube site, onto NOSWC, you guys go down to the little shorts. One of my friends made a wowee meter, and he did a count on how many times on one storm that I said wowee. And so, that's kind of hung with me for a little bit. So, I get a little excited whenever I see them big old lightning bolts like that, and don't put it past me to hear wowee a lot. Or wow, or oh wow. kind of some offshoots of that. Yes, look at that. That's definitely worth a wow-wee. Heat advisory in Central California. Wow. Marie. Crazy. Crazy. I know there's all kinds of stuff going on. Extreme heat. Arizona, Utah, California, all of that stuff. That ridging has really got things messed up. But this little impulse that came in today was kind of a shocker as well, I think. And so, had some definite weird patterns happening lately. Man, oh man, oh man. So guys, we're out of the rain now, and I'm going to find a place to pull over. I'm going to grab my camera because those are just way too good to just let go by. And right now, we're not having any problems. Like I said, with raindrops, doesn't mean that it won't happen, but generally whenever you get the camera out like that, that's whenever the rain starts to come on. But since we don't have rain right now, I would like to get out and try to capture some of those lightning bolts as they're flying across the sky. So you guys sit and watch with me, because it gets good. We can pull over right up here on top of the hill. There should be a place to pull over up here where it is safe. We're not down in a low spot. We're down in a low spot right now, so we don't want to be there. But once we come back up on top of the hill, then we should be all right. On that road in just 1 second. We got the perfect pull off now. We do not want to take and mess. Oh, that's a possum. Never mind. We're all right with that. We can deal with him. Let's make sure that we're all right with this, though. All right, lights out. We're going to hop out real fast. Sonia Smith's on the channel. Angela. All right. So here we go. I'm going to get out and get my camera set up, guys. Be right back. I'll leave my door open so I can chat with you. Now then, hopefully it will give us some good bolts. We've got another cell coming in from Kiowa, Kansas, down to Burlington and Nescatunga and that right now. And so, yeah, we definitely need to take and keep an eye on that one as well, because that one's going to be moving right into our laps. And it is throwing out some bolts. For sure, that's a wowee. And of course, you know how it goes. You get the camera out and the lightning stops completely. Or then you get stuff like that. Yes! All right. So we may have to take and face back to the northwest, because that storm is coming through, and this one is not doing so great. This one is losing all kinds of lightning. But all we got to do is move just a little bit. Stay in the same place, just flip around. All right, so I think we're going to do that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to move my camera first, and then I'll move the car. I'm going to leave it set up for just a little bit longer because I knew just as soon as I was going to move it that it was going to start doing that. And so I'm going to let it completely finish itself out before I take and do that. We've got a little bit before we got to take and turn back to the northwest anyways. But that storm is basically falling right on the heels of this one, so it's got some gap in between there, so it won't have to take and yeah. All right, so I am not seeing any lightning bolts on this one anymore at all. It is pretty much done ski. If it does throw one out, it's going to be a rando, and so we're going to face off to the northwest. I am going to have to take and number one, turn my windshield wipers off because it ain't raining at all. And two, make sure that I don't run over my camera. Three, you guys should be able to see that. And four, I've got to change my lens out. See that one. So give me 1 second, people. Okay, guys, I'm going to step out for just a second, so I'll be right back with you. And I'm trying to capture some lightning photos, so stick with me, and I'll be right back. so I can come over here and visit for a little bit. Hopefully my phone will kick off and do the things that it needs to do, because I got my lightning trigger set up on it. And so the bad news is they're saying that these storms are not going to do a whole lot of anything. So it's probably going to be short-lived for a while. We've gotten some decent lightning tonight. I know that for sure. And earlier today, they were popping around like crazy. Some good CG bolts. But this one is on the outs as well. I mean, it's not completely done for the most part. Going to be pretty noisy just to the west of Wakita. And so, yeah. Let's see here. I don't know if I have my navigation turned on here. Oh, quit that. What happened there? And so, yeah, we just updated our location. I don't know if I've got that up on the live stream or not. I probably shouldn't put it up because then you guys won't be able to see anything. Thank you, Storm Spotter Mario. I appreciate it. I've got my lightning trigger running. And so we're going to leave my phone in the car. Hopefully it will be capturing some lightning. That was a good one. That was a good one. I'll be right back, guys. Okay. I have a vehicle full of bugs now. Wow. I'm the red dot as the storm is moving toward us, but it is shrinking in size. So with that being said, I'm not going to hold you guys here forever. And I've got to head home anyways, because I have to get up early. However, I will leave the chat up and running if you guys would wish for me to do so. And we can visit as we go about that. But she is on the outs. Not going to happen. Oh, there's a pole back there. I don't want to run into that thing. But for what time being that we were there, we got to see some really cool lightning bolts. That is for sure. Get some of these bugs off the windshield. It was like it ran into a brick wall whenever it got down just north of Enid. So like I said, open it up to any discussions that you guys want to have while we're driving home. I definitely hope that you enjoyed the live stream tonight. And so like I said, that's what we do. And I appreciate everybody for joining, coming on. We had a lot of audience tonight, and so I'm extremely thankful for those things. And so anyway, I know that it's late, especially for a lot of different places. And so if you'd like, I can go ahead and close out the live stream, or if you want me to keep it on, you guys tell me in the chat, and I'll do whatever you want to do. So it doesn't bother me. It will give me something to do on the drive home. It's getting late where I'm at. It's after 10 o'clock, and I've got about another probably hour or a touch over on the way to the house. So Virginia says, keep it on, please. I will do that. I will do that. So it can be a question and answer session for you guys. If you want to ask me questions, I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And looks like we got a storm chaser here with his bright lights on. Marie says, I'll watch. So I'll give you updates as to where we're at. Like I said, this is Red Hill Road. Leads north out of Enid up to Highway 11. And you can go east towards Blackwell, Oklahoma, or you can go west towards Alva, Oklahoma. And it will take you all the way as far as you want to go, either direction. And so from one side of the state to the other. Now we're on Highway 81, and we are just north of Enid. We're about 18 miles from Enid, 104 miles from Oklahoma City, and so I live about 40 miles north of that. So if you want to do the math, that'll tell you exactly how much longer we have on the road. But grew up in this area for the most part. Graduated from Lamont, Oklahoma, which is kind of northeast of here by just a little ways. Pond Creek is about 10 miles to the east of me right now. And then you have Deer Creek, Lamont. And so graduated from there. Let's see. Car is acting weird. Hold on one second, guys. Let me get this thing all figured out here. All right. Okay. How long have I been chasing? I think that was the let's see, Cody Knox special weather statement has been issued by Alfalfa and Grant counties until 10:45 p.m. So I was in the military. I started chasing in 1995. And so I was stationed at Clovis, New Mexico. And the first big tornado that I seen was in Friona, Texas. And so, that kind of started the whole entire process. I've always grown up liking storms. I remember as a kid my dad taking us out and kind of, even though he wasn't a meteorologist or anything like that, he just grew up and kind of knew what the clouds were going to do. And so anyway, kind of led us in that direction, and it just kind of stuck with me. And so in 95, I was in Clovis, New Mexico, went out, and Friona was pretty close to me, but we could literally watch from the aircraft hangars. We could watch the storms form to the east of us, and then they would go severe, and then they'd go tornado warned if they were, that kind of storm. But anyway, and so I kind of got in trouble. Somebody knew what I was doing. I was chasing in a 76 Cadillac, and I called it the Land Cruiser. But the base commander found out, and he wasn't very happy with me, and said that he would give me a letter of reprimand if I did it again. And so I held off for a while. But early 2000s, I moved back to Oklahoma after getting out of the active duty military. And so I was sitting at home working, or had been sick and stayed home from work because of that. My mom calls me and she says, have you got the television on and are you watching? And I was like, no. And so she said, you might want to turn it on. So turn it on, and the weatherman is literally describing pretty much my backyard. And so there was a supercell that had come in late at night, like 11 o'clock. Our grandson lived with us. So I grabbed him, the mattress, a helmet, and went to the center of the house. We didn't have time to do anything. And so we were all in the center of that house, hiding underneath that mattress. And we had a screen front porch. It ripped it off. It ripped the screen door off of the front of the house and sent it flying through the house and lifted the roof up. Out, the screen door went out the back window where the dining room was. And then it was about over. I mean, pretty much it happened that quick. And so I went out and I looked, and the closest neighbor was probably a half a mile away, and they had the what I call ornamental lights in their yard. And so it had the white balls on top of it, and of course whenever they would come on at night they would glow. Every one of those were impaled in our fence along the front side of our house, almost like they were perfectly spaced, which is really crazy. And so anyway, woke up the next morning, assessed the damage even more. We had a 40 by 60 work barn. It took the front doors, made them stand straight out, took them off the rails and landed about 25 feet out in front of the barn itself. And so I had to take them, and they're heavy, had to take them and put those back up. But that was the second part. And that's really when things started to really kick in gear. Obviously, technical advancements was a lot further along. I'm talking about quite a few years in between there. So, cell phones were starting to develop Wi-Fi connections and stuff like that. And that's really whenever I started setting my vehicle up to do that. Had to really just kind of figure everything out from that point, and how to get things to stream, and stream to a wasn't a weather channel per se, media. Guy got online, created a deal, and actually had quite a few people following. And so he basically did weather for Oklahoma. Now he does it for Texas. But anyway, did that for a while, and then just went with a broker and started brokering out my footage every time that I would go out and chase. So that's how it started. So 1995, and I know that was a long way to kind of explain stuff, but I figured I might as well just tell everybody. So I've traveled all over the place. I've chased hurricanes. I think I told y'all that I have some footage, and I may perhaps, since it is weather related, put it on the channel as well, and some of the things that I've done on chasing hurricanes. And so chased Hurricane Harvey, which hit Rockport, Texas, if y'all remember that one. Cat 5, whenever it came onshore, had winds of like 140, gusting to 170. But that was a mean hombre. And so actually helped set a probe on top of a causeway with Reed Timmer and his cameraman, and the gentleman that was with me whenever I was down chasing. And so anyway, and then about 3 weeks later went down and chased Hurricane Irma. But as you know, the back part of that storm fell apart, but still it was strong. And so anyway, so if y'all remember, Piedmont, Oklahoma tornado. I had sold my house about probably 3 months, maybe 4 months before that tornado hit. And it may have been a little bit longer than that. I don't remember the exact date. All I know is so that Piedmont tornado was EF5, and so the house that I was just telling you about, we sold, and it was completely wiped off of the foundation. It took several days to even get down there because the damage path was so bad. We had a neighbor that was an elderly man. His wife had just passed away, and he was in his home. They had a cellar, and thankfully he was able to go into his storm shelter. But they had to dig him out, but his house was wiped off the foundations as well. And so it was quite the experience. There were 2 young children that had perished from that storm. There were several that were killed, but specifically there was some that lived close to us. And the parents didn't have time to respond for the warning. And so anyway, long story short, we went on search and rescue for them. And it was a couple of days before they were able to find them, locate them. And I won't go into the details. But that was another big, significant memory for me. And strangely enough, I didn't chase that day. I was working, and my boss would not let me get off of work. And I told him, I said, dude, it's coming straight from my house. And so he said, well, I cannot let you out. And I'm thankful that he didn't, because, like I said, damage was bad. But we tried to go and help people, and you couldn't even get around because of all of the damage that was going on. But later on that evening, when I did get back to the house, we went out and we were going to go over and check on those people that lived in our old place and some other family that was over there. And there were people that were just walking around, and I mean, they were like shell shocked from that. And so anyway, It was a bad deal. I helped a farmer, and me and my son did, and we picked up tornado debris for probably 3 months straight, loading it in the back of a wheat truck, filling it full, driving it up, dumping it off at the edge of the road so that FEMA could come in and pick it up and haul it off. And we did that for 3 months straight. And the crazy thing about that was you could see where the suction vortices had gone across the wheat field. There was definitely scars on the ground from that. But you would walk 100 yards out picking up debris from some other area, and there was another sub-vortice that had gone through there as well. So that tornado was multi-vortex. But it would take and it would load up with debris, and then it would take and dump the debris on the back side of the wheat terrace as it was moving across it. And so there would just be piles and piles and piles of stuff. And so, interestingly enough, and there, some of the fields that we were in was, as a crow flies, probably 6 miles away. And I found pieces of my old house there. As a matter of fact, one of our friends, their son was killed in a car accident, but he was an Eagle Scout, and so they had a memory room set up with pictures and all kinds of stuff, and they had his Boy Scout sash in that room. And so when we were out walking around, I looked down and I was like, wow. And I took it back to their place. Their house was hit hard as well, destroyed. And I asked them, I said, did this belong to your son? And she looked at it and she just broke down into tears and said yes. And so I was thankful that I was able to return it, but it was still a sad situation. But there was all kinds of things that, I mean, people's personal belongings that was just destroyed and all kinds of stuff. And so that's why I do what I do. It's not because of the gore or anything like that, but to be able to help out people and do things like that. And it's not just about seeing a tornado. I've said that before. That's, and I had a discussion with my friend that was riding with me today. I was like, I said, I don't have to be the one that goes out there and scores every single time I go out and chase. It's the beauty of the storm. It's the lightning. It's the rainbows. It's the cloud formations. It's the compositions for landscape photography. All of those things matter to me. And so that's what I enjoy. It's not always about seeing a tornado. A tornado is kind of the bonus part of that, if it happens. And so, and even then, I mean, you might think that it may be a rural area, but there's still people that live out there sometimes. And so, you don't know. And I know that I said I would open it up for questions, and I haven't really done that, so I apologize, but thought you guys might like to know that stuff. We're driving through Enid, Oklahoma right now, home of Vance Air Force Base. That is a gateway to the Air Force pilots. They all come through here or Wichita Falls, Texas, undergraduate pilot training. Boy, Enid is hopping for night. It's a Saturday night, though. So. Oh. Randy, hello. Welcome to the live stream. We're almost neighbors. You're from OKC. I live in Cashin, so not too far from each other. I'm gonna get over in this here lane. Oh, man. Do I have more stories? Lots of them. Not any that would be so graphic as that, but I mean, there's been some pretty funny things that's happened. Whenever we were out chasing, some of my friends are on the channel as well, and we always get a good laugh. It's those things. I will say this. They always tell you that in order for you to remember something, there needs to be something significant that has been attached to it. And so, obviously, whenever you see significant weather events that are going on, you can take and pretty much remember almost every single detail of that event. And so, there's been times that I've been driving out in the middle of Kansas or Texas or someplace like that and go, man, this area just seems like, I know, I've been here before. And then I'll see something that reminds me, and it'll be like, I remember, this is where I seen XYZ tornado or whatever. Sublet, Kansas is a perfect example of that. Scott City, Kansas. We had some beef jerky made one time, and it was from Weatherford, Oklahoma. There's a beef packing plant out there, or processing plant, I should say. Anyway, and I had to meet a friend of mine in Chickasha to drop off some stuff, and I'll just tell you this story. So we had a church conference, and one of the guest preachers that was there is from Duncan, Oklahoma. And so he brought a little, he called it a diary, but it was a book that had all of his important addresses, telephone numbers, all different kinds of stuff in it. And so after the church services and stuff was over, he realized that he had left it at the church. And I said, no problem, because he had asked me to come down there to his church and fill in for him because he had to go to another meeting. So I said, no problem. Well, we had gone to the car lot. We were car shopping, and I had that in our car. And so whenever we found that vehicle that we loved, we transferred everything over except for what I thought was that black book. My wife grabbed it and had brought it into the car dealership. And she set it into the seat. The seat was black. The bag was black, or the book was black. I never even noticed that it was there. And so, I go down. I bring the message. And I remembered that I didn't bring that book. So I go home. I was like, okay, I'll just get it out of the car. I go home. It's not in the car. And I go into panic mode. So I called him, told him, look, I misplaced it. And he was upset because every single thing that he had was inside of that deal. Oh, that was cool. I don't know if you guys just caught that or not, but that guy made a right-hand turn from the left-hand lane. Anyways, to go on with the story. So, I called my mom and I talked to her about it. And she said, well, let's just pray. And so she quoted the scripture. She said, if the Lord could take and cause an axe head to float, he can bring that book back. And so I like to hunt. And I was out at a friend's. We were out there deer hunting one day. And it was a Saturday evening. And I get a text message on my phone. And it's the salesman. And he sends me a picture of this black book. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Now, this is literally almost a week's worth of time that had gone by. And so, yeah. So I called him up. And I was like, are you serious, dude? Did you find that? And he goes, yep. He goes, it was in the new car sales office all the time. And so obviously I was shouting for joy whenever I found that out. But the point being is that as we were driving down to take and drop that off to my friend, I was pointing out all these different places that I had seen tornadoes or seen a storm or something like that. My wife was like, how in the world do you remember that stuff and you don't even remember to take out the trash? So we kind of laughed about it and everything else. I said, because it's attached to a significant event. So yeah, just one of those things. I had a friend of mine, we were down by, Seymour, Texas. And it was getting late. And the storms weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing, but they still were producing tornadoes. This time they were on the leading edge of the storm system. And so QLCS spin-ups is what they call them. But anyways, we see one. There's a whole bunch of cows that are running and all different kinds of stuff as this tornado is literally skipping across the roadway. And so I asked my friend, I said, what town is this? What town is this? And he said, 7:13 p.m. I said, no. I said, what town is this? And we still laugh about that today. Every time we see each other, we say 7:13 p.m. So you can have a good time along the way. we can talk about lightning strikes. Y'all got to see that one the other day that hit really close to the car. The last time that we were out, I know Sonya was on there. I mean, that thing, it shook the whole entire vehicle. I don't know exactly how close it hit, but it hit close. And so we were, and Sonya knows this already. I told this story the other day, but for those that have joined and haven't heard it, I'll tell it. Out by Loveland, New Mexico, Orla, Texas, actually. But anyways, yeah. Had my GoPro set out, was watching this big old huge supercell. If you've ever been out there, it's a big oil field community, so traveling around there is really difficult to do. And two interesting things happened. Yikes, I am speeding through here and I don't need to be. Two interesting things happened. Number one, I almost got struck by lightning. And two, we nearly got hit by a tornado. So, one of the other guys that was with us was looking out the window. He's like, dude, there is a tornado that is horizontal and it is spinning like crazy right out our window. And so we literally drove around a semi and we got out and turned left. And as soon as we turned left, there was a huge cone tornado on the ground. Yep, absolutely, as far as how the Lord works things out for us. So, and the power of prayer. So, that is correct. I did move fast. It did not take me long to gather up my belongings and get out of there. Interestingly enough, on that night, had I had my dash camera running like I do now, instead of the dome camera that I had on, you guys would have been able to see a lightning strike that was actually pretty phenomenal, because you could see the plasma on the lightning bolt. I'll throw this out there too. If I ever take and forget to come off of that when we're driving on the road, and I forget to come off of that roof cam, y'all let me know on the live stream. That way I can fix that problem. Man, earbuds in. I bet that was loud. Seen some lightning back behind us. What do we got going on? Did these things re-intensify or something? Marshall. Oh, look at you, little feller. Pond Creek. That's why I seen it too. So the storm kind of kicked back up in intensity again. One by Pond Creek, and it's throwing out some lightning bolts. But not going to be any too much worried about that little guy. I don't imagine that it's going to take an amount to a whole lot. Boy, the moths are out like crazy. I will throw this out there. I think that the largest majority of you guys have already done so. But for anybody that is new to the channel and hasn't subscribed, I would ask kindly that you would. We're trying to get to 500. I think that we're well on our way for that tonight. And so I appreciate all of you guys. But also be sure to hit that like and that share and the notification bell. And so that way we can get information out when it needs to be out. And so very, very, very important. And so I'll just leave it at that. Appreciate all of the ones that have signed up. And so never know where people might have friends and family at. Even in some of these remote locations that we've been out to. And so if you can take and share, and as I had said earlier on one of my past streams anyways, you know, we're fixing to get into the deep middle of harvest, and whenever these storms come in, obviously the farmers can see that there's lightning and stuff like that, and a lot of them have ways of communications inside of their combines or their tractors or their semis or whatever else. But there's also those that don't have, and so they may have their cell phone with them. And so if you can get that information out to them as well, then we've done them a service. And so that's the other reason that we go out and chase. So if you haven't, please do so. Coming up on the big town of Hennessy, Oklahoma. Lots of traffic for Saturday night on Highway 81. And also, I'll just throw this out there, and they might appreciate it. For the folks that aren't from Oklahoma and looking for a good place to eat, Okarche, Oklahoma is one place. Ison's Chicken. You get served a whole chicken, and you get fixings along with it. You get fried okra, and you also get pickles, both bread and butter and dill pickles, along with onions and carrots and all different kinds of stuff, and it is yummy. Another historic place is Sid's Diner down in El Reno. is where they filmed Rain Man, some of the scenes in Rain Man. And on my photography page, I have one of the gas stations that they filmed scenes from Rain Man as well. Lots and lots and lots of cool stuff. And this past winter, well, it was coming out of winter into spring, but they were filming another movie along Highway 33, and it's about the world's largest Christmas tree that is in Enid, Oklahoma, of all places. And I don't remember the name of it, to be quite honest with you, but they were talking about it. I do too. Probably my favorite. I gotta be careful eating them though, because if I eat too many of them, it gives me heartburn. But they sure are good in a salad. Hennessy, Oklahoma. They've got a couple of bed and breakfasts here in Hennessy. Were old gas stations, and they have converted them into bed and breakfast, which is pretty cool. One of them, and I think that they're selling that one. I don't know if it's still operable or not, but they have the old gas pumps out. I'll try and point it out whenever we're driving down the road here. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on here. Interesting stuff. If you've never been to Oklahoma and looking for something to do. Yep, that storm is already on the outs. Man, that one up there by Medford is throwing out the lightning bolts like crazy. Right there, Champlin Airbnb. And it looks like that it was being used. And there is the Sinclair on the left-hand side. Can't see it. But they got the old dinosaur gas pumps and everything else out in front. It's actually really cool. Angela. So bread and butter pickles are basically just sweet pickles. So as opposed to having the dill flavor to it, but we call them bread and butter pickles. And then let's see, fried pickles. Yeah, fried pickles are good. Depends on where you get them at. For the most part, but I think my favorite probably is either Bubba 33, which is a restaurant down off of Reno Avenue in Oklahoma City. Hideaway Pieces got some pretty legit fried pickles. They have a spicy ranch sauce that goes with it. And so those are pretty decent. Let's see what else. I don't know that I think maybe I have had once cheese curds, but like mozzarella sticks and stuff like that. I like those. I don't eat a whole lot of them though. My radar is on the fritz. Keeps flashing. Flashing like crazy. We have cheese tater tots too. Some of the places that serve those they're pretty good. Or loaded cheese tots, which has got chili and cheese and jalapenos and all of that stuff. That's a good case of heartburn. It smells like oil around here horribly. Alright, let's see what we got. Yeah, they are really good. So, well guys, I've enjoyed the conversation with you. I enjoy bringing you along with me on the storm chases. I think we're going to get the opportunity to do this a little bit more, especially in the first part of June. They were thinking that Tuesday was going to be a pretty significant day for Oklahoma. I don't know if that's still the thinking right now. I read some of the nomenclature. It doesn't seem as strong as it was before, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of talk about it. But if that is the fact, then obviously be looking for us to go live. We'll try to chase that day as well, or any other day that is around. And so that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close close out the live stream for now. We're getting close to home. And so we'll go ahead and let everybody go to bed and get some sleep. And so, again, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank everybody for watching, and hope to see you again soon. We will talk to you all later. Have a good night, and we'll see you. Bye-bye. Bell's ringer. I'll leave it up. So what's up? Look out for what? Yeah, buddy. I'm glad you brought that up. I am glad that you brought that up. So June 2nd, for real. If the geomagnetic storm happens like it's supposed to, and that we have a clear night, which I think we might, that's Monday, I think we might have a clear sky, I will be out and about. If you have not already taken a look at my photography page, the last time that we got any really good geomagnetic storms, the Aurora Borealis was amazing in Oklahoma. I know that there's a lot of other places that it looked as well. But I'm telling you, it only got better as the time went on. I had to force myself to go to bed, if that tells you anything. And I think I finally dropped into bed about 4 o'clock in the morning and left at 11 at night. So, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. I completely forgot. So, and I'll do the still photography on that, but I do have some on my webpage that you guys can go over there and check out. Nightbot has been posting it, pretty sure. So go over and check out the link. Like I said, I put it on there for you, just for you guys to look at. I do have stuff that's available for purchase, but I'm not pushing that. I'm just enjoy taking photography, landscape, astrophotography, obviously storm chasing pictures, and all of that stuff. So anyway, go over and check it out if you get the chance. Like I said, no obligation whatsoever, but check it out. See if you see anything that you like. I've got aircraft on there, all different kinds of stuff. So phone said 10% battery. So yeah. And let's see. I just got a text message from my friend. Elevated instability increases. So storm intensity is probably going to pick up later on. I just got a message from my friend that said that the cloud tops are cooling off in advance of the upper level trough. And so that's why these storms are kicking back up like they are. But I got to get home and get to bed because I got to get up early in the morning. But if I can, I will be out shooting some photos of the aurora. And I might even be able to take and adjust my camera to where we could even watch that as well. Have to mess around with those settings and see what we got. So if it's as good as what they say that it's going to be, I seen a post earlier today saying that as far south as I-40, which is the highway that splits basically Oklahoma east and west. And so, no. Let me get that right. It would be north and south, not east and west. I-35 would be east and west. But if it's as good, you can actually set your cell phone up in order for it to take and capture long exposure, and you can get some really cool photos just from your phone. Seen it done a lot. And this same, depending on what version of phone that you have, but I've also seen the Milky Way and all of that stuff done actually really well with cell phones. So it will be interesting to see what happens. Love taking pictures of stuff like that. And so I have a telescope, not common, that what you would normally think of whenever I say telescope. This is an AI telescope. It's called the Vaonis Vespera. And so it basically does all of the hard work for the person. And so you can look at deep space objects. And it does a pretty incredible job of doing it. Some of the ones that they've got out now, the Pro version, is expensive. I'm not willing to pay that much money for it, but just for basic general telescope fun, going out in your backyard, it hooks up to Wi-Fi on your phone. You don't even need a Wi-Fi connection like in your vehicle or anything like that. Works out really well. And it shoots some amazing pictures. And it stacks the photos, which is even better because you don't even have to go in and do all of that stuff. It does it for you. And you can live stream it. I've live streamed it on Twitch before. But it is time, my friends, for me to say goodbye. Again, I say thank you for watching and hope to see you soon. Have a great night. and we will talk to you later.